Hi there, Tammy Beard with Stampin' Savvy. Thanks for joining me. Today I have got a really fun, very cool technique to show you in a Tropical Chic card. We're going to be using the Tropical Chic bundle. This is new in the annual catalog that's been out since June, so I guess not really new, but absolutely one of my favorites. I have been playing for about a week and a half with this set, and I have to say it's even more versatile than I anticipated that it was. I absolutely love it. So we're going to be using the stamps and the framelits, but let me give you an example of what I mean by the versatility. So we're going to be using these leaf dies right here, and I want to show you we're able to do the letterpress technique with this because, or the embossed letterpress technique, I mean that's just my name for it, because the framelit dies match the stamped images almost exactly, and so does this one right here. So you're going to see how that is going to work. But in addition to that, I want to show you all the other different things that you can do with this framelit set real quick. So you've got the outside framelits here, so you're able to do your stamping and then cut out your images, and that's, you know, pretty common. And let's see, here is the flower there, and then here is this one right here. Okay, so stamp and cut them out, we know that. But then what about if you were to take and do just a solid cut with this one right here without the stamp? Does that not look like a fall leaf? I mean, think about doing that on watercolor paper and just doing, you know, a really quick wash of some Cajun craze and crushed curry, or, you know, any of the fall colors. Totally work for fall. So you do that, and then let's say that we also take and we use this die right here, and now you can layer over that, okay, with whatever colors that you decided that you wanted to do. And then let's do one other thing. Let's take the outside piece and put it with the inside piece and do one single cut from there. And that's what I did right here. I did this one in Granny Apple Green, and I did this one in Shaded Spruce. So, but let me take these apart and show you what it looks like. If I can get it off here, let's see. Maybe I'm going the wrong way here. So now you've got this piece right here. Would that not work for winter and for like Christmas cards? Absolutely. And then you've still got this one right here, and you can layer that over stamped images and it looks really good. It's very close in size. See that? But let's take these and let's take this one apart and let's do what I would call embed. So let's embed this back inside this one, and let's do the same thing with this one. And now you've just created a dual color that looks stunning, right? But you totally get a different look by just using one of these over the other. Like I said, I think that that would be great for winter cards. Absolutely, totally versatile. And then again, you could do your layering over your stamped images. I think you could totally get away with that one for the winter as well, right? So very versatile. I just love that you can do so many different things with these three right here. And then that's not even counting this really cool piece right here that you can do like a window cuts. You can do layering with these. This matches the stamped images as well. So just lots of things you can do. And I do have a card coming at the end of the week where we're using this one in a little bit of a non-traditional way. So I hope you'll stick around for that. So meanwhile, we're going to be using these two to do our embossed letterpress today. So let's go ahead and set this off to the side. Get all these, move those pieces. We're also going to be using the Big Shot embossing mats with these, and I'll show you how that's going to work here in a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on getting our card together. I've got a lovely lipstick. Don't you love saying that? Lovely lipstick card base. It's just half a sheet of cardstock that's been cut in half and then scored in half. So the finished card base is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then I have a piece of the Whisper White cardstock that's been cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. So 1/4 inch less on the two sides will give you a 1/8 inch reveal around the card front. That way you still get to see a peek of the lovely lipstick behind it, which coordinates beautifully with the ink that we're going to use. Then I've also got a piece that's going to fit on the inside for the greeting panel, another piece for our sentiment, and then a medium envelope in Whisper White that we're also going to be doing a little decorative stamping. I call that starting the party before you open the door, so to speak, in that it kind of gives you a glimpse when you decorate your envelope of what's inside. And I just really like to do that. It really kind of takes your projects up a notch. Okay, we're going to be using, again, a very non-traditional color combination. I had a lot of fun coming up with color combinations. This one, Lovely Lipstick, Blackberry Bliss, and Pear Pizzazz are the three that we're going to be using. And then what I like to do, we're going to be using the 3 leaf stamps, is kind of decide which is going to be which. So I'm going to make that one Lovely Lipstick, that's going to be Blackberry Bliss, and that one's going to be Pear Pizzazz. Okay, so let's go ahead and set that aside. And you're going to want the large panel, the 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel. And then I'm going to keep one of the smaller ones and the envelope handy because we're going to go ahead and do our stamping at the same time. So let's start with the Blackberry Bliss. Go ahead and open this up. Let's give this a good ink. And what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this in 3 different spots. So I'm going to pick one here. And we're going to do one here. And we're going to do one here. Now the center area is going to get covered over with a sentiment. So I'm working from the outside in. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the Pear Pizzazz. And we're going to do one here, one here, and one here. Now when we're doing these 2 leaves, those are going to be our primary like focal points, so to speak. These are the pieces that are going to be embossed. So when I stamped those, I didn't do any overlap. Okay, if you notice, they all kind of stand alone. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our lovely lipstick. And we're going to use this as kind of our filler. Okay, do one here. And just kind of, and I like to vary how much is revealed. So I've got a lot on these, so let's do just a little bit on that one. Okay, and that looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and set that aside. Let's come in with this one, and I'm just going to do off of the corner here. This is going to be the inside panel. Let's do one of each. Okay, and let's do the same thing on our envelope here. Okay, so now we've got envelope, we've got the inside greeting panel, I'll set those aside, and now we've got this one. Now we can leave this just as it is, or if you want to fill in the white space a little bit more, what you can do is come in and stamp off and then come back with just a couple of these like that. So you get a much lighter color. Now for the Blackberry Bliss, if you want to do that, because it's so dark, I would stamp it off a couple of times. Let's do one here. Whoops, didn't do very good on that one. We're gonna go with it though, like that. Okay, so that fills in your white space a little bit more. Completely different look, just depends on what you like, okay? We're done with our stamping on these two. Let's go ahead and close these up. And I'm actually going to leave the lovely lipstick out because we're going to do the sentiment on the other panel. And I have chosen Thinking of You because I needed a Thinking of You card. This is from the Rooted in Nature stamp set. We're going to do this one right here. This is a double set, another one of my favorites, but that's the one we're going to do. And we're going to ink that one up in the lovely lipstick to match the card base. We're going to do it right off of the end here. Okay. All right. Let me clear these off because we're going to bring our big shot over. Let me clean my stamps really quick here. This is the Simple Chamois. Sorry, terrible names. I think it's Simply Chamois. I cut mine apart because I use that one for my Stamparatus, so they don't come that way. Okay, move this out of the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to bring in the big shot. And I have it set up for cutting, so let's go ahead and we will do our sentiment first. And I'm cutting, I'm going to use this die right here, which is the smallest one from the Stitched Season Framelits dies. This is the limited edition set that's available the month of August or until supplies last. Absolutely a favorite of mine. Absolutely love this set. Highly, highly recommend it. You get stitching on both the positive and the negative on both sides of this cut line, which I'll show you what that looks like here. Let's go ahead and run this through. Okay, so let's remove that. Okay, so you've got it on the positive side, so I could totally cut that and use that as a window, but then you've also got it on this side, on the cutout piece. Awesome, 2 for 1, gotta love that. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our embossing. So we're gonna change up our sandwich. We're gonna keep the Big Shot platform, but we're gonna get rid of the thin die adapter, and we're going to get rid of one of our cutting plates. And as I've shared before, it's really important that you actually just remove one of your cutting plates from your work area. It will save you from cutting through your embossing mat. Okay, so now what we're going to use is we're going to use the Impressions pad. That's going to replace one of your cutting pads. And the Night of Navy silicone embossing mat. And then we've got our 2 framelits here. Now in the instructions inside here, there is, it tells you what the sandwich is on how to do this. We're going to be doing this opposite. We're going to do it upside down. So I'm going to put the embossing mat, the Impressions pad down first, the embossing mat, and then I'm going to bring in the cardstock. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be placing these face down. And they're just going to go right over your stamped images. So what I do is I start from, say, the right side, and we're going to do those 2 first. And I put the top cutting mat on. Now, what is going to keep this from cutting through is that white Impressions pad. If that was a cutting pad, you would just cut through your silicone mat. So you never want to do that. That's why I always recommend just remove one of your other cutting pad from your work surface, so that would never happen. Okay, so what that's going to do is, let me move that, and let me show you what it does. It's kind of, you'll see a little bit from the back side. and it's a little bit hard to see unless you catch the light right, but you've now embossed over your stamped image. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to do the middle ones here. There's this one right here. We're going to run this back through. And we've got one last one to do. There's the green one here. And then it's this one right here. Okay. And actually we'll just drop this back out. Okay, and we are done. It is as simple as that. So when you look at it from the back side, now you can see the embossing. Again, it's a little bit harder to see from unless you catch the light right, but you can totally feel it and see it in person. It's just a really, really cool effect. Okay, so let's go ahead and move that over there. Let's go ahead and put this together. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our snail and we're going to put this on, center this onto here. Then we're going to take this little guy and we're going to use just a few of the Stampin' Dimensionals. These are double-sided adhesive with foam in between, and so it elevates your projects to give them a little dimension. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and attach our greeting panel for the inside. So here we have coordinating envelope, absolutely beautiful. Can you see the embossing on it? I don't know, it's really hard to tell, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then what you can do is, I've got a few of the iridescent sequins here that we can put on, except I forgot the glue. So let's just set them here. Left the glue over on my desktop. So let's just set them here. So you can kind of dress it up a little bit if you wanted to, although there's enough going on that you certainly wouldn't need to do that. But there you go. Other than my kind of boo-boo stamping there, absolutely gorgeous. Really, really pretty. I hope you guys like that. I have in my hot little hands the new holiday catalog. Just arrived. I am pretty stinking excited about it. Can't show you the inside of it, but in my order I also got my stacks of catalogs that I will be mailing out. So if you have been a customer of mine and bought from me this year or attended any of my classes, you will be getting one sent out in the mail probably at the end of this week, so you can keep an eye on that. If you have not purchased from me but would like a catalog, just place a $50 order and I will include it with your thank you gift, as well as the annual catalog if you would like as well. And I normally don't tell you this, but in fact, this is a spoiler alert. If you have bought from me during this month of August, I've already started working on my rewards kits. What I do is I send out a sample kit to, I pick a suite, or I have been. It's a surprise every month, but because I love this Tropical Chic suite so much, I put together a sampler pack that my customers are going to get that's got 5 different cardstock colors. It's got a variety of the framelits that I cut and stamped, the textured weave ribbon, as well as the designer series paper. So these are going to be going out pretty soon. Those that have already shopped with me this month are going to go out with their catalogs, and then I'll do another batch probably in a week or two. It ended up taking me quite a while to do all the framelits. I didn't really think about that, didn't think that through very well, but that's okay. You guys are worth it, and I appreciate that. I hope that you've enjoyed this. It's just a really fun, very simple technique that is a wow. And I encourage you to do it yourselves. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. I do have the supply list in the YouTube description. You can also find it on my website at stampinsavvy.com. I would love to be your demonstrator, and I appreciate you for watching. So until next time, thanks. Bye-bye.